I'm sure you're aware of all this UAP disclosure jazz that you see on television. The more I look into it, the more I think at least a percentage of it, a healthy percentage of it, is bullshit. And there's probably some government projects where they've developed some very sophisticated propulsion systems that they've applied to drones, and that's what these people are seeing. And this is one of the reasons why they continually have sightings over secured military spaces, like out in the eastern seaboard. Like there's areas over Virginia where they continually see them. In San Diego, they see them off the coast of San Diego, where there's a place where you would test stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, so of course, we know that that was the case for a very long time, for sure, from the 50s through the 80s, because the development of stealth was highly classified, and the SR-71 was brand new at one point, and so you had these alien,
Do you pay attention to any of that stuff?
Of course, 100%. Yeah, and then by the way, we're not the only ones, and so I my speculation would be that some of the military-based stuff is the Chinese doing something similar.
Yes.
And we got a glimpse into that with the balloon.
That thing was goofy though.
They got shut down, but still, the fact that the Chinese are flying surveillance balloons over American territory, and they were able to slip through our early warning systems and just loiter above military bases and take lots of imagery and do whatever scans they do.
Yeah,
and literally nothing was happening, and we didn't even know they were there most of the time. And so I would say that's like a tip of the ice. It feels like a tip of the iceberg kind of thing. Where if they were doing that, there are probably other things going on.
Well, I've read that someone had commented that similar things had happened during the Trump administration, but they didn't tell Trump because they didn't want him to shoot them down.
Interesting. For the record, I'm pro shooting them down.
Yeah, I think you should probably shoot them down. They're taking pictures of shit. There's not even people up there. Fucking shoot them down.
Yeah.
What's the problem?
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Do you think there are any of those that are not of this world?
I don't think there's any way to know from the outside.
Have you ever pondered it late at night, sitting on your porch, staring up at the sky?
Of course. Well, it raises number one is there or not, and then if it is, did it recently get here? Have they been here for a long time? Did they arrive 5,000 years ago?
Tucker thinks they're demons and angels.
Demons and angels. Are demons and angels real? It's literally, probably not, but certainly they're metaphorically real. And are there kind of shades of gray between literal and metaphorical?
Well, the actions are certainly demonic and angelic, right? Actions of human beings, things that happen in the world. Yeah. Are uplifting or horrific. Yeah.
Evil people doing evil things are possessed. They're possessed by something, right? Like something is going on.
Right.
And what's the dividing line between, an actual supernatural force and some sort of psychological, sociological thing that's so overwhelming that it just takes control of people and drives them crazy? You might as well call that a demon.
Yeah. It's fascinating because when you think about it from theological terms, when you think of it from a religious perspective, people would apply what would a demon do, what would angels do, what is the will of God, and what is the evils of the worst aspects of humanity. You could apply them to so many things in the world, but we're very reluctant to say that something is demonic. Yeah. Even though it's clearly demonic, clearly in action, this is what a demon would do. Yep. A demon would possess people to gun down children. Exactly. And use drones to shoot down a wedding party. Yeah. A demon would do that.
Right. Exactly. So a friend of mine is a religious scholar. He teaches at Catholic University, and he's a religious history scholar. And he says that medieval people were psychologically better prepared for the era ahead of us, with AI and robots and drones everywhere, than we are, because medieval people took it for granted that they lived in a world with higher powers, higher spirits, angels, demons, all kinds of supernatural entities, and it was just assumed to be true. And in the world we're heading into, that we're arguably already in, there are going to be these new forces, these new entities running around doing things, and we're going to struggle, and we're going to catastrophize. We're going to conclude AI is the end of the world.
Yeah,
the medievals would have said, oh, it's just another spirit, it's just another kind of entity. Yeah, it's better than humans at some things, but so are angels. And so we're going to have to change our mentality. We're almost going to have to become a little bit more medieval. We're going to have to open up our minds to the kinds of entities that we're dealing with.
Wow.
Yeah. Which also could help us actually deal with people. Maybe there's an explanatory way to think about human behavior here that seems less rational, but might actually be more rational.